Have you ever stopped to think about it? What actually is your role as a next level group leader? That's what we're talking about this time on Level Up. Let's dive in. Hey guys, I'm Steve, and this is Level Up, the monthly dose of leadership training that will help you take your next level group to the next level. Hey, what's one word that best describes the role of a group leader? Take a second, think about it, and then leave your one word idea in the comments below. At the end of this video, I'm going to share my one word that makes a next level group leader, so stay tuned for that. Now, it's crucial that we understand our role as group leaders. Without a clear understanding of our role, we're going to get sidetracked or distracted, or maybe even discouraged as we try to do too much or too little. Have you ever started to doze off while driving? I'd be lying if I told you that I haven't dozed off a couple of times, but thankfully on the sides of the roads, especially highway roads, they have these helpful rumble strips, or sleeper lines, I think they're called, that rumble your vehicle to wake you up when you run over them, to keep you in your lane. Now, in the same way, we as group leaders need some of those rumble strips to keep us on track and to keep us on task and to keep us in our lane as we lead. As we work on staying in our lane and fulfilling our role as leaders, it's helpful to know what our role is not. First, as a group leader, you don't have to be a Bible scholar.
So here's how this verse is going to be pronounced. Enarchi in ologos.
When you come each week to lead your group into the scriptures, you don't have to know all the answers to all the potential questions that might arise in your group. You simply have to come prepared to lead men into the scriptures related to the topic, having first studied them yourself and enable them to, kind of as best you can, to see that primary or relevant observation and application from the text. The Holy Spirit is going to be the main Bible teacher who's going to give insight to each person. And as you encourage the discussion, the collective contribution of each man around the table will be of huge importance. So that's first, you don't have to be a Bible scholar, but second, you don't have to be a trained counselor either.
Well, the pressures, and I'm not judging them, I'm not labeling them, but they are destroying your potential. There are no more shenanigans, no more tomfoolery, no more ballyhoo.
You're right.
Though it is your role to listen intently to each man in order to understand his particular and present needs, you don't need to consider yourself the sole counsel giver. In fact, we gotta be careful not to think of ourselves as fixers of our fellow group members. The Holy Spirit is the counselor who's gonna come alongside each group member, growing their hearts toward the truth. So you as a leader are simply asked to be sensitive to the timing of the Holy Spirit in these situations. So you don't have to be a Bible scholar, you don't have to be a counselor. Third, you don't have to be a super Christian. Now, we definitely want to encourage you to do your spirit-guided best to live a life that honors God in all areas. Your example is your greatest strength as a leader, but you, like every member of your group, are a work in progress. When we feel like we need to be super Christians, it can be tempting to actually avoid sharing our struggles in order to look better. But it's essential that you as a group leader share your struggles transparently with your group members. This is actually a key way that you're going to set an example for them to open up as of their deepest struggles. So if that's what our role is not, what actually is our role as group leaders? Here's 3 ways you could see your role as a group leader. First, you could see yourself as a player coach that kind of provides direction for the team. You're a player in the sense that you're an equal member of the team. You're on the field like everyone else. You have the same needs as they do, and you share the collective goal of winning the game. But you're also a coach in that you intentionally take time to step back to gain a different perspective. You provide oversight and direction where required and are a key voice in the drive toward the win.
We're gonna do whatever it takes to get the W.
Second, you could see yourself as a team captain. A team captain that makes calls on behalf of the team when called upon, but more than anything is the first one to courageously take the steps forward that others might be hesitant to take. Now, I remember when I used to play hockey, I was always the assistant captain on the team. And I remember looking with jealousy at the captain, wishing I could have that glorious C sewn onto my jersey by my mom. Then I thought, I will have made it. My dad must have noticed this pride in me, the desire to have that letter for the glory rather than the privilege, and he spoke some helpful words into my life that honestly I've never forgotten. Here's something along the lines of what he said. He said, Steve, before you become a captain, if you're ever going to become a captain, you must be willing to take on the burden of that responsibility, to act like a team captain whether or not you have the C. And that's not bossing people around. Instead, you need to have the courage to make the tough decisions no matter what people think of you, to take the fall for the sake of and sometimes in the place of others, to give yourself without expecting anything in return, to work harder than anyone and to be the lead encourager. Now, I have to confess, I'm still working on those things to this day, but I think we need to be those kinds of team captains, lead encouragers and lead sacrificers. Finally, you can see yourself as a quarterback. From hockey to football now, a quarterback is the person on the field responsible to call and help execute the play for the team, most of which comes in from the coaches on the sidelines. It implies a healthy knowledge of the defense, how to avoid them, how to penetrate the territory that they're guarding, and it implies a front-to-back knowledge of the team's playbook. It also requires quickly handing off or passing the ball to others on your team. So, as you lead your group, you can see yourself as a quarterback. It's key for you to grow in your awareness of the enemy's spiritual tactics. It's vital that you pursue knowing the group's playbook, the Bible, inside and out. But here's a really important point. If the quarterback were to run every single play, never handing off, never throwing the ball, then frankly, the game would not be won and the quarterback would probably end up in the hospital from being hit so much.
There was a low bridge and a high bridge, and he got caught between bridges.
This is why one of your key roles as the quarterback is to pass and hand off the ball, to allow your group members to take the ball and run with it, to watch as the Holy Spirit orchestrates those plays, but to be ready to pass the ball, to be a lead listener rather than a speaker, to delegate responsibility where appropriate, and to creatively encourage the involvement of others. So, boil it all down, what is your main role as you lead? Remember at the beginning I asked you to write in the comments below the one word that you thought described the role of a group leader? Here's the word that I think encompasses it all. In fact, it's kind of two words with a hyphen in between. A group leader is a disciple maker. Christ has commanded you and every member of your group, but you, to go and make disciples, to nudge each member of your group onto their next level of spiritual maturity, and to trust the Holy Spirit's timing as He takes them to their next level. Because in truth, He is the group leader. The Holy Spirit is the one who will accomplish these things, and God will get all the glory for it. But you can be a disciple-making group leader as you point your group to the truth of the Scriptures and encourage them as they live it out. Thanks so much for watching this video. We hope that it will provide some rumble strips, some guidelines for you as you continue in your pursuit of leading your group well and staying in that lane.